Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Hello and welcome to another episode of Music and Nostalgia. It is I, your host, Dr. Peters, and I am here with you for another incredible episode. If you guys have been following me, you know Music and Nostalgia is about telling stories that apply to our lives, that connect to our memories, and really take us to a wonderful place, and sometimes not so wonderful. Well, I have another story for you, and the song that we're talking about is I feel like it was a hymnal for a long time, and over the years it's evolved. I've heard many individuals sing it, and this one is "Great Is Thy Faithfulness." I don't even know who to say sang it because I've heard it from so many wonderful voices. It's actually one of my dad's favorites when I think about it. But the memory I have with "Great Is Thy Faithfulness" takes me back to about the fifth grade. Obviously, prior to that, I'd heard it many times, numerous times. But the reason it takes me back to fifth grade is I was in school in Jos, Nigeria, which is in the northeastern part of Nigeria, and it was a missionary school where it had it was an affiliation with several ministries, Anglican, Lutheran, you name it, like all of them. Many of them were represented at the school. So a lot of the staff came from different ministries and missionaries. So a lot of missionaries came into Nigeria. One year, and that was the fifth grade, I remember a gentleman coming into so every week we would have chapel on Sundays. We would have service on campus, and then we would have in the evenings evening service on Sundays. And one week I remember this gentleman came in from the U.S. I feel like he said he came from Kansas. I know that's a very specific state, but I just remember this. I may or may not be accurate, on that part of the story, but I just remember him everywhere that he came, everywhere that you saw him on campus. Now, we weren't a massive campus, but we were first grade through 12th, the school, and I was in that middle school subsection there, or that actually no, that was elementary at that point. And I remember when he came, everywhere he went, he'd say good morning. It could be 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and he'd be like, good morning. And I was thinking, dude, you're weird, before we got to hear him speak. So then he had the opportunity to speak. And I remember him telling us, because he said, I'm sure everybody's wondering why at any time of the day, it could be 8 p.m. at night as well, he'd still say good morning. And he said, I'm sure everybody's curious as to why I say good morning at any time of the day. And I wonder if any of my cohorts from Hillcrest remember this. Part of why this came up is I'm in a group chat on WhatsApp with a lot of folks from generations of people that graduated or went to school at Hillcrest. And so, yes, he would always say good morning. And at some point when he was telling the story, he said, here's the reason why he says good morning at all times of the day. He said that wasn't necessarily him. But when his daughter was about 23, I believe, again, I'm pulling memories from fifth grade, which I can't even tell you how many years ago that is right now. that when his daughter was about 23, she was in a car accident. It was I believe, a head-on collision. And his daughter, who had been independent for a few years, doing her own thing, I believe she was a teacher. Again, memories from fifth grade. Could no longer do anything by herself. She had to learn to talk again. She had to learn to walk again. She had to learn to count, to spell, to remember things. She had to go through. Basically, she became an infant again, and they had to teach her everything, alongside all the broken bones and the surgeries that she had to go through. It was tough. It was a challenging time for her and for his entire family. And for them, they always try to figure out how they would navigate this experience, how they would overcome this new challenge that they had as a family. And he was already in ministry, if I'm correct, if my memory serves me correctly. And he wanted to make sure that in every given moment he was giving thanks. And the song "Great Is Thy Faithfulness" is one that he said resonated with him. He heard it at service one day, and it spoke to the moment that he was navigating through the challenges his daughter was experiencing. And if you know the song, for those of you that don't, it starts off, "Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me." And, of course, I pulled that section because I didn't want to hurt y'all eardrums, and we're going to praise with me in this moment. And he said that those lines spoke to him in particular, because he said every moment that he was concerned that something wasn't going right, he would say, "Morning by morning, new mercies I see." So to remind himself, he would always say "good morning," to emphasize that new mercies were coming upon their family. New mercies were coming upon his daughter. In the moments that he still had concerns, in the moments he still had doubts, that his flesh side would be flaring up the doubt and the questions and the fears. And in those moments, he would say "good morning," and it would immediately alert him to the fact that there were new mercies, as long as he reminded himself by the words of the song that said, "Morning by morning, new mercies I see." And I just thought that was such a powerful moment. I heard this song a couple of days ago, and it immediately spoke to me. And it's funny how I've heard that song all my life pretty much. But that moment, it came to me, and I was like, wow, this is truly a blessing to have such a memory, to have such an experience that instead of casting all the doubts and all the fears, you were able to find fresh anointing by having a new morning in the darkest hours. And I think it's important for us to hold on to such things, to carry such memories and live on with them in a way that will elevate us and move us on a path of a new vision, right? Of elevation, of growth, of strength and faith. And I so love that song, and I I just happened to look over at my board, my whiteboard in my office, and it says, anything is possible if you improve your imagination. So, for each and every person watching and listening, this is probably the shortest episode I have ever recorded, but I wanted to put this together very quickly, share some love with you guys, and just know that if you're going through anything, if there's any doubt, any fear, any darkness in your world right now, morning by morning, new mercies you shall see. This is Music and Nostalgia, and you know what we do here. We take music and tie it to our memories so we can always hold on to the good things in life and elevate through the challenging things in life. So, remember, no matter what's going on in your life, the joy is always in the journey. Now go listen to some music, find something beautiful, and create some new memories. All right, guys, thanks for joining me.